Welcome back everybody, Matt the Bat here, hope you're doing well. So we haven't had that much Spider-Man news in a while. I can't believe even this month, December, we're already at 2 years since the last Spider-Man movie, and there's been really no movement on another Spider-Man film. We've been hearing a little whispers, a little this, a little that, but nothing concrete. Which is kind of surprising because all the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies came out every 2 years. Here we are at 2 years now, and they're not even in production. They're not even filming another Spider-Man movie. So, what's going on? Yeah, one of the biggest movies of 2021, and you had like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in there, and no comprende, as they say. But we did hear a rumor yesterday that coming from a super Daniel RPK put out there that John Watts, the director of the last 3 Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland for the MCU slash Sony, may not be coming back to direct. And I am very happy about this. As much as I've enjoyed the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, other than for Spider-Man Homecoming, which would be in like my top 3, I wouldn't consider Far From Home or No Way Home in the top 3, top 4 ranking. I think the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, Tom Holland's been great in the role. They've had a lot of really good moments. But they've felt like Marvel Studio movies. They have. First of all, they don't have the spirit of Spider-Man like you see with Tobey Maguire or even Andrew Garfield to a certain extent. And it's like we didn't get the Peter Parker being Peter Parker. And we haven't gotten that in any of the Marvel MCU Spider-Man movies. And I don't know if that's part John Watts or if that's Marvel in general. But I never thought that John Watts really put his own flair, his own signature, if you will, to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. That when we heard that he was going to do Fantastic Four last year, I feel like Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Oh no! Because I'm like, he didn't do anything new or anything substantial with the Spider-Man movies. Bringing in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield wasn't like his doing. That was Sony. Sony's like, we need to get what people really want to see. Tobey Maguire. You go back and you look at the Sam Raimi movies, they have a lot of, the visual look and the style is all there. And the signature of Sam Raimi, mixing the horror with the comedy very well. But then you get the most iconic moments in those Spider-Man movies. You know, Peter Parker hanging upside down in the rain, Mary Jane Watson kissing him, Green Goblin, Spider-Man fight at the end, the whole carnival parade scene in the middle. I mean, the whole wrestling thing at the beginning. The scene with Norman Osborn in the mirror talking to himself. I mean, you get a lot of iconic moments just in that one movie. Plus the visual look and the flair. Then you go to Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock, the train sequence. You know, that's one of the bigger ones, the opening. The life of Peter Parker now being Spider-Man. The Daily Planet, or the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson. I mean, we get the iconic, even the lesser known, or less favorite Spider-Man 3, you still have moments in there. The birth of Sandman, even when Tobey Maguire is trying to rip off the symbiote in the church. That's a pretty cool moment. When you go back and watch even The Amazing Spider-Man 2, as much shit as that movie gets, visually, that movie is stunning to look at. It's beautiful cinematography. And it has its own style and feel. The Marvel Spider-Man movies do not. And like I said, I really like Spider-Man Homecoming. I think that's actually the best one they've done. And so, their word is that John Watts is not returning. And I'm like, yes. And they're looking at Drew Goddard to direct. Yeah. Now, a lot of you might be going, who the fuck is Drew Goddard? Well, my fellow Americans, Drew Goddard is the guy who created and shepherded Daredevil Season 1 on Netflix. There you go. He was the dude behind the Daredevil Netflix series. Since there is still one of the best comic book series ever on TV. He did that. And now he's going to come in and do Spider-Man 4. And they've been talking about, too, that this Spider-Man movie would have Kingpin in the movie. Vincent D'Onofrio. And there's been rumors that maybe Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself, might show up in the movie. So I'm like, oh. I mean, I don't want Daredevil to be the main focus, or be a focus in this movie, but you bring in Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie, which we haven't seen before, in live action, and you got Vincent D'Onofrio coming in, oh boy. Oh boy. My spider sense is tingling. That would be excellent. And then they actually finally start making these movies in the spirit of Spider-Man. You know, Peter Parker goes to school, struggling with that, paying rent in his apartment, trying to work for the Daily Bugle. Yeah, the Daily Bugle. J. Jonah. When are we ever going to see J. Jonah Jameson in the... Yeah, I want them to go back to being Spider-Man. No MCU, no Iron Man, no Doctor Strange, no Nick Fury. Give us a fucking Spider-Man movie in the vein of what we saw in the Sam Raimi, but MCU version. You know, I want him to be on his own. I want him to be struggling. He's supposed to be like us, but with powers. A normal guy who has to deal with the world, paying rent in his apartment, getting a job, going to school, having a girlfriend, but also me, Spider-Man. You know, bring in Gwen Stacy. I mean, like, I don't know how they're going to do stuff like that. Like, are you going to bring in... I don't want MJ. I don't want Zendaya back. You know, you did that for 3 movies. Bring in, you know, Gwen Stacy, Felicia Hardy. Even if you want... Also, there was mention of maybe bringing in Scorpion, since he was introduced in Homecoming, and we still haven't seen him as a prime villain. And now it's like, you know, you can't do that now, because they already have the Kraven solo film. And you know, put Spider-Man in a real problem. Yeah, they could have Kingpin, you know, ask Kraven, hire Kraven to go get Peter, Spider-Man. But I'm like, at this point, I'm like... So yeah, I think Drew Goddard, like I said, I think he would be a perfect choice. Better than bringing back John Watts. He did 3 movies. I feel like with directors, if you've done 3 movies, move on. Move on. I want to see someone else come in, give their spin, put their stamp on it, and I think Drew Goddard would be perfect. Especially if we bring in Kingpin and have Kingpin versus Spider-Man. Ooh. Ooh, boy. I bet my spider sense is tingling. But let me know in the comments below, would you want to see Drew Goddard come in and direct Spider-Man 4? Or would you want to see John Watts return? Matt the Man here.